So today we've got a 2010 Kia Sportage. It's the 2 litre petrol engine with 117,000 miles on the clock. Right, so this car had a bit of a squeal from the back brakes. We got it up on the ramp, had a bit of a provisional look, and the rear discs, as you can probably see, quite rusty, and the pads, they got a little bit of meat on them, but it could really do with some new discs and pads. They're past their best. So we're doing a bit of a role reversal. We're going to see how the pros do it, and the cameraman is going to do this job.
Right, so I'm going to attempt to buzz these nuts off. Wish me luck. Oops, pretty eager.
Yeah,
that's how the pros do it.
This is going to go smoothly.
So, full disclosure, I did have a practice on the other side of the car, the other rear wheel, half an hour ago. So, this isn't my first time, but it is my second time.
There you can see there's a bit of a lip on that disc there. A little bit tricky to see the pads. You can probably see better through there. Pad line in there. There's probably still about 5mm on it actually. Yeah, you can't really see with the caliper still on. But that's it.
Right, so if I recall correctly, I'm going to be undoing that bolt there, which is a 14, that bolt there, which is a 14, and then we've got these inside bolts I need to hang on to with a 17mm screwdriver to stop the thing from spinning.
Spanner, yeah.
Spanner. 14 and 17. Right, so that's going to be going that way. Is that correct?
Nope.
It's going to be going that way.
Yep.
Hang on. That's going that way, you're right, Gary.
Clockwise. Probably better to use the ring end of the spanner wherever you can. You've got less chance of rounding the nuts.
Okay. Yep, there we go, not too bad. So I'll get the ratchet on for that, for the rest. For the bottom one. Right.
So we're just going to take those bolts out and get the caliper off.
Right, so okay, what's coming out of the finger? Sure, that'll be a lot more difficult if they were sticking.
Yeah, obviously you can use a longer spanner or a bigger ratchet if they are tight.
So I'm now going to be prising off this middle caliper bit, is that correct?
That's it, yeah.
Okay, so that's the, what's that called, caliper?
Brake caliper, and fortunately on these ones the piston is just a plain piston that you can push back in with grips, as opposed to using a rewind tool.
Let's have a go at that now, shall we? I guess I might have to do it again later on, but just show you. And just slowly ease that piston back in. So that when we come to fit it, it should just slide back on.
In theory.
Okay, so we'll tuck that out the way. And then I guess we have to undo. We've got 2 more 14 bolts at the back here, one at the bottom and one at the top. So in the next clip I'll show you doing that. Right, so just been informed before I take out these back 14mm bolts, quite a good idea to take out the brake pads. These can often be seized up in here, so I'm hoping it's too big.
So they should move freely in there and, you know, to and from. But when they stick in the carrier like that, they often make the rear brake bind up and seem like the caliper's seized, but it's actually the pads just sticking in the sliders there, in their shims. More than likely what the squealing noise was. Yeah, looks like the lining's broken up.
Okay, so that's the front one. Let's see if I can get the back one out.
There it goes.
Right, that's the 2 brake shoes out.
Brake pads.
Brake pads even.
Now it's just the 2 bolts on the back there to get the carrier off.
Right, let's do the bottom one first.
Quite tight.
There we go. So apologies for the novice mechanic work here, but also apologies for the novice camera work as well. Too bad. What's this called, Gary, that's taken off?
So that part is the caliper carrier, which is going to need a good clean up. Judging by how tight those pads were in there, you should be able to just slide the pads in and out of there with your hands.
There you go, 1 caliper carrier.
So next we'll stick that in the vise and give it a clean up. So we've got the caliper carrier here in the vise. Something which is worth checking are those 2 sliders there. You should be able to move them freely in and out. Again, if they stick, they will also give the symptoms of a seized brake caliper.
Yep, moving freely.
So they're moving freely. Next thing is to clean up these 2 shims, which the brake pads should slide in freely, and as you can see they are filthy. But also, importantly, once you've given that a clean up, pop it off of there. The back of it needs cleaning as well, and you'll probably find that the actual carrier has rusted up, and there's bits of debris in there which is closing up this gap where the pad should go and pinching it tight. So just really a good clean up session on that, which can be a bit dusty.
These are sliding off. There we go, perfect.
I think that's where the main problem normally lies with these. As you can see, that's pretty corroded.
Hard to get to the bottom there, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a file there which I'm not looking to take any thickness of the metal off, but just lightly use it to scrape any rust off. Probably as good as it gets, yeah. Then
Just finish this off.
some new brake pad kits come with those shims as well. I think you can buy them separately from a dealer. But as long as you've got a wire brush and something available to give it a good clean up, no reason to not reuse them.
That'll do, won't it?
Yeah, that looks good to me.
Okay.
So that can be clipped back on, and then same procedure with that one. Yeah.
Tidy.
Not bad at all.
Okay, so we've cleaned up the
brake pad shims in the caliper carrier.
perfect. So we should just be able to drop in these brake pads. There we go. So that's moving around much freer, I think.
And once we actually get it back on the car, we will put a bit of copper slip grease on the ears of the brake pads, which will also help. Yeah, that looks good.
Cool.
So the next stage, we're going to take this brake disc off, which has got one grub screw there, Phillips screw. You've also got another hole in the disc here, which is probably a little bit difficult to show, but you can line it up with the adjuster for the handbrake shoes. So while this is all still fitted, you can tweak up the handbrake shoes, but we can show you that once the disc's off, which is what's going to happen now. Good idea to give the screw a bit of a tap first, just to loosen it. Hopefully that'll come undone.
Yep. Easy.
That might need a bit of a tap to remove it. There it goes. Yeah, I think maybe need a couple of screwdrivers in the middle there. It's just getting snagged up on the handbrake shoes.
Oh, you can feel it pop back in, can't you?
Yeah, they've got spring fasteners holding them onto the back plate. That looks like it went there. Hopefully the hold down kit hasn't fallen apart. One disc removed. That's the adjuster for the handbrake shoes, which you can access through the hole in the disc. And you can just flick it round with a screwdriver, which either closes up this gap or opens it up. There are your handbrake shoes. All looks good.
Great, so on with the new
brake disc.
lining up the grub screw, which is that one there, I'm guessing. No.
Making sure that the hole for the adjuster, does that have something to line up with? Oh no, it doesn't, so you're okay.
So that's catching on the
shoes.
shoes, isn't it? I can tap it back in with the hammer.
We might be better to take it back off and de-adjust the shoes just a fraction.
Up or down?
Just try it one way or the other and we'll see what happens. So you're looking to reduce the amount of thread sticking out of there.
Try it.
Yeah, give it a go.
Oh, there we go. Still quite tight. Shall I just do it a couple more?
Yeah.
No, is that too much?
Hopefully should be able to access.
Quite.
Yeah, that is a bit too loose. That'll probably do. If you give the disc a tap in the middle here with a hammer, that should centralise the shoes. Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. Grub screw back in. There we go. And then we're putting the caliper back on, is it?
Caliper carrier back on next.
So that is going to go that way.
That's it.
Okay, sort of in the right position, and then there should be 2 bolts, 14mm jobbies here. Am I screwing that the right way?
That's it, yeah.
Struggling to find that.
So the carrier doesn't butt up against the disc, you've got to push it right in and then put it back a little bit maybe. But yeah, you should be able to line them up there somehow.
Ah, there we go. Ah, I was about a couple of mil too
high
low.
or too low? Yeah.
Too low.
Yeah, once one's started it makes the other one a bit easier.
Right. There we go. Okay, so 14mm ratchet. Nicely.
That should do.
There we go. Now we want to put the brake pads back in. Where's our copper slip? So that is. Don't tell me, Gary. Don't tell me. That's going to go that way at the back. No, don't tell me, Gary. Like I say, don't tell me.
Surely there's not that many ways it can be fitted.
That way.
That looks better. So that will be the pad that goes on the caliper piston side, because it's got the that wire clip there. That actually, once the brake pad gets very low, that touches the brake disc and makes a horrendous squealing noise, so you know your brakes are almost out. There's also a anti-rattle shim to go on the back of that pad. Which not all brake pads have. It was just came supplied with the pads. Anti-rattle, anti-squeal. So I've got a bit of copper slip there. We'll have to get some brake cleaner and clean that up if it gets on the friction material.
I would just get a bit. So it's not a lot on there. Better safe than sorry. It's more on the edge of the shoe as opposed to the face.
Pad.
Right, so let me work this through again, Gary. That'll be that way.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because we've now cleaned the shims, it should just
That's it.
slot in nicely. Right, let me put the shim on before this time. So this is the anti-rattle shim, do you call it?
Anti-rattle, anti-squeal shim, yeah. Supposed to help stop the noise resonating from the brake pad.
And a bit of copper slip seems to be creeping up your brush, Gary.
Yeah, that stuff literally goes everywhere.
Dog. Okay, that will be going that way.
Yep.
And again, that should just
It's lovely.
easily.
Yeah.
Now it's putting this back on.
Yeah, the caliper can go back on now, making sure you don't get the hose twisted.
Right, so it feels like it's going to go that way.
That's right. That'd probably be quite a snug fit on there. Oh yeah, you've got to push in the slider. That's it. Yeah, it is a snug fit. Once it's bolted back together, we'll operate the brake pedal a couple of times. That should centralise everything, and the disc should spin relatively freely. At the moment, I should think that's got quite a tight grip on it.
Just
Yeah.
about to have it. Oh, there we go. Right. £17mm. Top one done.
Got the handbrake cable there getting in the way. I'll probably just use the 14mm spanner to nip those up. They don't have to be as tight as the caliper carrier bolts because they're a lot smaller. That's it, that's plenty, lovely.
There we go.
Excellent.
Shall I go and push the brake a couple of times?
Yeah, operate the brake pedal a couple of times and I'll see if it frees it up a bit. Quite tight. Okay, so we've got it back together now. It's slightly tighter than the other side, but we've double checked. Everything is back together as it should be. Nothing is seized. So we're going to put the wheel on and see how the wheel spins round on there. It's probably just a case of running it round the road, let it bed in a little bit, and it should be fine. Once we get it on the ground, we'll double check all of those. Hopefully that spins. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. I'm sure it will.
Just the extra weight, just to make it spin all right. Yeah.
Okay,
Fine.
Drop it on the floor and we'll check all the wheel nuts and give it a run. Okay, so we're just finishing off the job now, checking the wheel nuts by hand. So hopefully that little video will help somebody, help a novice. I think it's been fairly successful. We'll give it a little run round the block and that'll be the end of that job.